drink it? Did you drink some more? Where's my music? I think they're off the roof now. First episode air date, February 8th, 1974, USA. That's the year I was born. That was 2 months almost to the day before I was born. You glad I was born, Ma? I remember like tummy time. Watching JJ and Dynamite. Kid Dynamite. And the younger brother, he wanted to be a lawyer. And then the sister was the feminist, opinionated, equal rights, all the paradigms. And we used to watch that, and they had more, they always talked about how poor they were, but they had more than we did. Isn't that funny? So Mom and I were watching the show that we used to watch when I was a little kid called Good Times. Because somebody made a TikTok about it. And that show was that show had, you saw on TV stuff that happened in average every American living room. Like kids getting abused and stuff. Like they talked about stuff back then, that happened to the Disney kids. And then the Disney kids made these weird shows. Because it warps your mind when they turn on when you grow up too fast. People grow up too fast. They want to, they give little girls babies, and then 13-years old, they want to have kids and, be a wife and all this stuff that comes with it. It's just programming. We're just computers in a fleshy soul sack. And we program ourselves with our free will and how we choose to live our lives and conduct ourselves on a daily basis. I like to see the JC frequency coming online. I heard a story of a man that I recently found out is sick. He's sick. A guy that has been on that I know of, I'm not going to say who it is, but he's been sick. And he has to go up to Colorado. I'm fine, but a guy I know is sick because he got the vaccinesies, and now he has cancer in his bladder and stuff, so he's nervous, he's scared. He's always had control of his life. He has an office desk, he works at home, and now he's powerless. That's cool. And now he's powerless, so he's experiencing that. And I was asking him, what are your sleeping arrangements? Like, is there a place at the hospital? Because he has to recover he and his wife for 5 days. And and someone that he and his wife recently became friends with offered to put him up in a hotel room right across the street from the hospital until 10 days after his surgery, double the time, his recovery time. Giving them the option to check out early if they want. And I'm just like, dude, that's what we're supposed to do, is if we have extra, we're supposed to give it to people that don't. Hey, Soul Reaper, what's up? That's what we're supposed to do, and it makes my heart feel so good that that's what people are doing. And then it comes back to you in cool ways. I took my car in. My car needed to have some repair on it. So I took it into the local shop, and I asked them if they would go over and above their job. Oh, we got a new light. I got this new light. Luna doesn't like it's just this glass ball. I have a thing about lights. I grew up in the 70s. So I like living in a light bright plus I used to hang out with Alice and shrooms and all that stuff. So anyway, got the burb ready, getting the burb, and what I did is I asked them if they, because the differential was seeping transmission fluid, so they opened her up to see if there's metal shavings. No metal shavings. So I asked them if they would paint the cover, and they did. That's Chevy orange, mind you. I ordered some online. And it didn't get here in time, and it was quite the adventure to find Chevy orange, because I didn't want Hemi orange, and I didn't want farm orange, so I had to go to AutoZone, because I won't go to O'Reilly. And I found Chevy orange, and they painted it, so I'm gonna buy the shop that did the work for me pizza on Friday. They're gonna. Because what? I don't care how old you are. How rad is it to have Pizza Day Fridays, you know? I do that for the people at the vet. Like, I'm like, how often do people, like, buy you guys lunch? Because, like, you know, you got to kill their dogs and stuff all the time. Like, it's a hard job. Like, you know, yeah, you get paid and, you know, you charge a lot, but you get charged a lot. And, you know, and hopefully that'll change here as planet Earth evolves into whatever it's morphing into. Because there's a lot of weird, crazy stuff going on. It's getting dangerous out there. Like, I walked this morning home. It's 2 miles. It took me too long. I'm out of shape, but I got, like, bad hips and pelvis, and I got bad. My soul sack is wore out because I played too much, and it cost me wear and tear on my body. And so what I love seeing, because I'm like what they call it, I guess they call you weed fairies. I'm getting tendon. I don't have music on right now, but I'm getting tendonitis. I have tendonitis. Because I used to work on the flight line when I was in the Air Force, and so it's like. And plus I always have equipment running in my head. So it has a tow hitch component on the back of it, and I'm going to paint that orange too. And the reason why I'm doing that is because people are so absent-minded, and they're on their phones, and they're putting a full face of makeup on, and they're making and eating their breakfast, and they're doing everything but the only thing that they should be doing, and that is focusing on driving. I got a ticket one time, and I didn't want to go on my record. I was an asshole and parked in a handicapped spot, and so I opted to go to traffic school in Omaha, Nebraska, and I hated it. It was 2 days, 8 hours, and this guy kept you all 8 hours. There's no slack. He was like retired, blah blah blah, you know. Like, wife hasn't loved him in years. He hasn't had anybody to control but his dog, so he teaches this class. And I learned a lot of stuff, and, you know, vehicles are just weapons, basically, and I'm seeing too many people straight up pointing their cars at other humans and gunning it and racing it down. And I'm just like, well, that's not how humans treat other humans. What is that? Like, what is it about hurting people? And then people that read the Bible say things like, humans don't hurt other humans. And I'm like, well, what's going on in America? It's getting bad out here, y'all. It's they have, like, they just had, what state was that? It's in all, like, they have these car clubs. It's just a bunch of kids, unruly kids that are getting together. And then it escalates to a point where there's property damage or loss of life. Because, I mean, I'm Gen X. I didn't have no kids. Well, my brother's Gen X too, but he's an old dad. He didn't have his kid until he was 40. And he never, like, he was a shitty older brother to me as a sister, and he wasn't ever around kids. So basically, he just kind of stepped back and, you know, let his wife do everything. That's the culture, you know, whatever. So he just writes his little letters for for the state of California for the script, you know. Like he worked one hard day in his life, had heat stroke, and then decided, oh, I'm gonna go to school and major in poli sci. But he already had the advantage because he was the firstborn in a what, 3, 4 generations, 5 generations, 6 generations. How many generations since they signed the Constitution? And then before that, because my dad's side is those Freemasons. So they all worked in the state system. I had an uncle who worked in the California Youth Authority system like 30 years. How job security for 30 years just because your grandma's an important real estate agent? You know, like it's like I was born into a family with all this privilege, but I didn't get any of the privilege because I wasn't born male. They made me one of those science projects. They do weird stuff to babies when they're in their womb. That was me. I came out just this little 6-pound, 4-ounce thing with a freaking attitude. You know. So I'm just been trying to fucking make the best of what I got since then. And then stuff happens, because ever since I was a little kid, because we watched Good Times and stuff, and I don't know whose first faith came first, the moms on Good Times or my moms, because mom always taught us about, you know, doing the right thing and don't screw people over because it comes back to you, and praying to God, because, you know, that's like, you know, it's our protector, because she knew at a young age that there was no man, which taught me at a young age that there's no man that was going to save the day, you know. So I don't think like everybody else. They said I was autistic when I was 13. But back then they didn't do nothing. Hey, what's up? They just put you in the other class, and it tried to keep you calm enough to not, you know, disrupt everybody else. So I learned how to mask real good, and that led me all the way into the military. And back then, this was in 2000, they put me on that program that so many people are getting kicked out for now. But I got off it. I just busted my ass because I like to prove people wrong. So I got off it. And now all these people, like the whole and then I got out in 06 because I figured out like what a joke. Like the military is a totally staged production. Like sometimes I wonder like if any of the engagements ever happen. I know that we go places and Marines do terrible things because I've seen the repercussions from it. I've seen the after effects. These guys are shells of human beings. Like, but as far as like latitudes and longitudes of where these men actually are, you know, whether they're in Syria or Saudi, you know, like it's so like social media shows that what's going on, that Gaza thing that's been going on before I was alive, you know, but they have it on the TV and the news. I don't think we really, as Americans, unless we go to a place, really conceptualize what's happening. And it shows it like it's decimated. But if you look at it on Google Earth, it is a 7 miles wide piece of land. And at the widest point, I believe it's 0.4 miles wide. And then it's 25, 30 miles long. So you're telling me that in the whole time that they've been conducting that storyline, so what is that? How many square miles is that? I suck at math. I gotta get my calculator. So we'll just go 12 miles at the widest times 30. So that's 360 square miles. Now, if anybody that watches this, look at that area where you live. And then I just have to ask myself, why? I mean, there should be nothing left. If that place has been bombed as much as it has for decades, how come that 360 square miles hasn't been completely wiped off the map? Because it's a story. I'm not saying that people are not losing their lives. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that you can't believe what you see on these things. You can't. You can't. You can't believe what you see on these things. You can't. I look young. I turn on the lights, I got lines all over my face. These things are deceptive. And I don't do that Botox shit. You know, my country gave to me 8 anthrax facts, and that was, and I got tattoos, but sometimes I wonder if, who cares? I don't drink alcohol anymore. I don't have any vices left. I'm on my last bag, second to last. I got one more bag of coffee beans, and then I'm going back on no coffee, because I'm not going to pay the prices that they want just because they make, economics is a made up system, and they make up words like tariffs, which basically just gives assholes permission to raise prices. And then people are like, oh, it's monkey see, monkey do. They're raising their price. It's like, how much money do people need to live to have enough security that it's like, okay, whatever service I do now, I'm just going to provide that service for people that can't afford it. I'm going to give back to the world. Like all these lawyers and stuff that have cush lives for ruining people's lives, why don't they just, you could practice law, just do it for fun. Just do it for free. But America's program, America would rather believe in a fucking old white dude with a white beard and a red suit coming down chimneys is going to bring you presents if you're real good. But they can't believe freaking sharing all the abundance with what they have with other people. And there's lots of ways you can do it. I like giving these stickers away. Straight people like rainbows too. And it's not even the rainbow. I came up with this when I was 9 years old. Yellow, orange, red, green, blue, purple. Because it's the color wheel. Because I'm native. My soul knew it before the DNA test told me. And I'm Spanish. I'm fiery. I'm a Latina Spanish. A little firecracker. So, but I came up with this when I was 9 because I thought, nobody gets the rainbow, because there's this dude in the Bay Area named Gilbert Baker who came up with a flag with the rainbow on it for inclusion. Yeah, I've had some good times in Castro down in San Francisco, but I don't care what the groups are. Anybody doing weird shit late at night, they're up to no good. It's all fun and games until somebody's nailing their balls to a board. Yeah, I saw that one time. That was actually in Sacramento. That wasn't in San Francisco. That was at an old bar that we used to go to, and it would be like top 40 pop night, and then at 11 o'clock it turned into goth night. And you're just talking to your friends, not paying attention, and you turn around and go, what the hell? The demons are out. Let's get out of here. Come on. Because people, I know a lot of people are very auditory. That's weird to me. Because we're frequency. All we are is tuning into things around us. Like, what are people, they tune out to all the miraculous, things in the ethers in the no play space because they're too busy playing Mario Kart, or doing silly stuff. These are grown-ups my age, because they've been playing video games since I was a kid and they were kids, but instead of growing up and evolving past that, they just had kids and then got their kids to play them, and then now their kids are having kids, and it's just like generations, and like that's 3 generations of people that are not learning how to do anything practical. No kind of viable skill at all. So Street people are gonna have a hard time figuring out what to do with themselves if the power goes out, or like if the water, like if big things happen on planet Earth, because big things are happening on planet Earth because we've been programmed to know something big is coming, and when something big is coming, we create big things because we have images and pictures in our mind. Hey, Jessica, from all the movies and horror stories that we've watched, and we create. That's cool. Hope you have a good day. Thanks for passing through. And we're creating reality based on our thoughts. And seeds are planted, and I know that. I grew up with people who watched those snuff films, man. I couldn't hang out with them. I never understood why people got off freaking people that did like horrible, terrible things to humans and other animals. Why would you feed your cat 8 tubes? Oh, okay. Oh, that's cool. She didn't eat. Anyway. You're shaking with anger because yet another person. Yeah, I can't. I know. That's the life lesson right now. And this, tonight, is a full moon in Aries. Full moon in Aries. So think about this. You're Gemini. Gemini's what? Your sun sign is Gemini. I always get that one. Gemini. But is it what? Is it air sign or is it water? I always forget. It's air. Gemini's air. Okay, and so now we have this super full moon in Aries tonight. So think about what happens when air meets fire. So of course, there's gonna be, and then okay, think about people that are water signs with this energy. They're gonna make steam. There's so much freaking potential. I've listened to probably 4 astrology reports today when I was just piddling around waiting for the bourbon to go pick it up from the shop. And they're always, and it's like volatile energy, but I'm just like, maybe I actually did the work because I'm not feeling the volatile energy. Like, okay, what does he say? Is that from him? Black flame to light my... I missed it. I want to see it. When air meets fire, we smoke. Black flame to light my green smoke. That's cool. He reminds me of the guys I used to hang out with. They picked me up when I was 15, 16. My buddy Eric, he was a Gemini. Dude was so smart. Like, he was talking about stuff that was happening on that's happening now. I got sayings. How about this one? My girl is such a hoe, even her memory foam mattress can't keep track of who's who. I don't have a girl. I think that's funny. I haven't said that in a while. I have these what I call and some other people have called Margisms. Because really, when I'm not traumatized in life, I really am quite funny. So there's a lot of scary shit going. And then while it seems like all these demons are running around Earth, right? Oh, I was talking about Eric and how he reminded me of Josh. And Jeff, my buddy Jeff. I listen to Bad Religion still because of those guys. And growing up in Redding, man, there's just all kinds of trippy shit to do in Redding, California. It's like the places I live, it's like at Erie, Indiana, because places are just towns based on magnetics, and magnetics influence people in really peculiar ways. I saw them in Council Bluffs, Iowa, And I was like, and I left early so I could get out before parking. I mean, I was listening to them. A storm was coming. Like, it's a big venue. I saw Cake there twice. I saw Joan Jett there. I wasn't a fan. I was going along with other people. But then at Soko Hall, I saw Tegan and Sarah. And I saw Social Distortion, but they had like 5 opening bands. That was like one of the bands I wanted to see. Longer than any other band was Social Distortion. And then I saw it, and it was such a fucking downer. And that was like, I used to go to concerts a lot. I used to just like to go and participate in large gatherings. I went to, one time I went all the way down to Tempe. This is back when I lived out of my ego. To see Joe Coy with Chelsea Handler. Now I see Chelsea Handler on social media, like I guess she was down in Albuquerque for the Balloon Festival, which is a terrible, stupid waste of time in anybody's eyes. Is that the Aries? No, you just said when you came on, you said you were so upset. And it makes perfect sense because the full moon in Aries is tonight, and your air is matching the full moon energy. That's how. See, people talk. I listen to a lot of astrology, and people are always talking about the potential energy, like the energy forecast. What they're not talking about, like how their charts are going to align with the energy. You know, I kind of talk about that a little bit more here. Just my interpretation of it, just because, I mean, they do, but then, like, I tried to listen to these guys talk astrology last night. I fell asleep. Like, they never talked about, I don't know how long. They talked 3 hours, 40, like, almost 4 hours. Like, you have nobody else to take care of in life, and one of them's a new dad. Like, that's 4 hours. How many diaper changes does somebody have to do? While you're just talking about AI and making little character. AI is a lazy man's tool, man. That shit don't do nobody no good. They can justify. Actually, no, I take that back. I take it back. I'm starting to see positive things about intelligence artificial. How it's working for people. So I'm trying to change my attitude about it. Because if I'm going to change my attitude about something like that, now's the time to do it. But still, there's just so much rage, and so many people are pissed off, and we're at the part of the show where, like, the peak, I call it the collective wave of bullshit. Like, for every stressful situation, like, there's a car accident, there's a domestic, God forbid, whatever, there's like a maximum point that the situation sucks. There's like there's assignments, you know, like when you get the assignment, then you gotta figure out how you're gonna type 25 pages when you type like this in 3 days, you know, like you gotta figure stuff out. And so, but it's just things are, because so many people are animals backed into a corner, because God, they can't pay their fucking bills because they can't get a job because the deck is stacked, and people are freaking out. It's stressful and it's scary. While that's one part of the world, and then the other part is just going on footloose and fancy free, no care in the world, you know, concerts, you know, but they're living off, a lot of them are even, but these are the people, like, they're going to be in trouble because they're not going to know how to take care of themselves when the level playing field levels. See, they have the advantage because, like my nieces, like, they probably got more money in the bank than I do because they don't ever have to worry about their thing, because their parents make $500,000 a year off a system that made it so hard for me and him when we were kids, because of the system, not because of what Mom did. Mom was just trying to survive as a single mom with 2 kids in the 70s. Like, people think it's hard now. I mean, it's just it's hard all the way around. There's too many people that are struggling, you know. These new kids, like half of them are brilliant, half of them are not. So the half that aren't, who's going to stay home and hang out with them if anything happens to mom and dad? Because the systems are designed to help people, as we know. I mean, they can change, they could, but it's going to take a lot of overvamping and a lot of initiative on people's parts. I got some paperwork today on. It wasn't a bill. You open it up and it says, "This is not a bill for my hearing test." And it was just under $1,000, and the appointment was, it's in the car. I should bring it in and read it out loud and itemize and stuff. And so it's like $1,000, and it says this is not a bill. And I'm just like, my imagination, ever since I was a little kid, I always imagined a world where money was not an object, where it just wasn't a thing. Like, people could travel freely. Think about how if they could go wherever they wanted without restraints. We're animals. We're migrational people. Like, birds fly up and, like how they name people that go to Arizona snowbirds. Evidently, they're showing up now in Arizona. They're showing up here. It's just people that migrate, move around. How nice that you have so many houses. Why don't you trade places? That's why I just want everybody to have a place that they can land. And if they want to go travel around, every being in America deserves that. Deserves a roof over their head. They don't deserve people getting rich off saying we care when they don't. This, the state in which I live, we got a $58 billion from the land trust. That's like expenditures, and they're like, what should we spend it on? Give it to the fucking people that gave you your wonderful, beautiful life. Your constituents. Like, why politicians in the USA think they deserve to get rich, while the people that they pass on the street every day deserve jack fucking squat? I saw a study today that in order for people to live, comfortably, minimum wage should be $66. Yet Biff can waste the time of how many people? Airmen just sitting there waiting? It's a pony show. He's a little actor. Go watch Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. The military in that totally reminds me of every military officer I ever met in the Air Force and whatever. Dude, take their little outfit off, and then what are they? Are they going to convince you what they are and all the good things they did? If they weren't wearing that little outfit, are they going to convince you that they're great men? Because I bet I convince you that they're not. Because I worked right alongside of them. Like all the stuff that they're doing with the weight management and kicking people out because they're too fat and this. They did that shit to me back in 2000. The only difference is I didn't take the honorable discharge because then I couldn't use my GI Bill. And I had to get a college degree. That's why I enlisted, because I had a mom to take care of. Because this life isn't just about me. So that's the only way I figured I could go to school, get a college degree, and not end up with a bunch of student debt. And then I see all these people, I did all this stuff, and I see all these people, they just get their debt forgiven, and it's just like, it's all a crock. Like, why do some of these people have to pay for stuff, and then most of these people don't? But because these people don't, these people that pay for it, we got to pay extra for the people that don't. And that's America? You can't make it make sense. It doesn't. It's not gonna. like, the Constitution, as far as I'm concerned, is a script that they're just going back and forth, interpreting where they want to put the inflections. Meanwhile, Americans are fucking rotting in the streets. But hey, that's okay, because look at where this is going. Nobody's talking about this with their astral projections of the fucking future. How about this one? Next couple of years, because, poor people, they just experiment on medically. So all these people that we see with amputees and stuff like that, they're going to start getting robot parts. Watch. You guys are all going to make Muskrat richer. So we're going to have, and then they're going to be like, hey, and then that's going to bring a whole new wave. And so here we are. Reality, life imitating art, limitating art, and then art limitating life, and then they use that as a legal defense when they say, no, that doesn't happen, it only happens in the movies. They always tell you what they're going to do before they do it. I grew up watching, I was what, 10 when I first saw Terminator, the first Terminator. So I had that little program with Sarah Connor. I've been learning survival skills ever since, so if I'm not prepared for whatever comes at this point, well, we're just not prepared to hum off, right? Dude came and put the cover on the swamp cooler today. I kind of feel claustrophobic. I don't really like it, because there's already no windows in this room, so that was like my only, so now I gotta go out there. Like, I can't, so I could never be in the Navy, because I can't think about it. I'm going to get claustrophobic right now. I always wondered, I'm like, I bet they put those people in those tubes, and then they just, drop them in the ocean. And then they're just sitting down there, and the only thing that changes is, the screen on the instruments, and then they think they're going all over the place. I would hate that. You got this much room above your face in the bunk. No. I learned so much from the 6 years in the military, because I actually did 6 years. I listened to this dude, he's got 133,000 subs, and he's talking about his time in the military, and I kept waiting for him to talk about how he only did about 10 minutes in the military, because he intentionally got himself kicked out. That's what he said in another talk, when he talked about how stupid the military is. Talked about how he got himself kicked out by smoking weed because he knew what it was. But he don't know what it was, because I could tell, because he was talking about his perception of the military today, but dude didn't even make it through basic training. So, blah, blah, blah. All I gotta say to that is Cubs can never be kings, They can dress up and play grown up, but they can't be kings, And and this part about that is just dude, I hated the military. I am the least, controllable person. I had to bite my tongue a lot in the military. I was more militant than the military. I was more serious than the military was. I got, scornfully, made fun of by a TI. It was my first week in tech school. I was really sick. I had some bronchial thing. I thought I was going to die. I couldn't go to the doctor because I didn't want to get washed back, so I was just keeping my head down, and I was just trying to power through this guy who really thought he was funny, and he just absolutely wasn't. But whatever, to get the cute girls to laugh, right? Because that's how a lot of these guys think. So, because they're young 18-year-old girls, and I'm 25, and I'm just trying to do what I got to do to get through this shit. So if we could just get on it without your stupid jokes that aren't funny, that would be rad. Because I'm already in enough pain, and these jokes ain't funny, and it makes it hurt more. So he I was just sitting there, but I always sat in the front so I could pay attention to what they're saying and focus and not, because I drift off to my imagination, so I got to be up front. And I'm sitting up front, and he's like, "Don't you ever laugh?" That's what he said to me. So don't you ever laugh? And I looked at him, and I said, "Yeah." When I hear something funny, he did not like that at all. Needless to say, I got washed back. I got held back, so I should have gone to the doctor anyway. You know, because people that have positions of power, they'll do it to put you in a bad way if that's the kind of heart that they have. That's not the kind of heart I have. I never had that kind of heart. When I was a little kid, I shot a bird, killed it dead with the BB gun. I was like 6th grade. So I was like, not 6th grade, I was 1st grade. So I was 5, 6, 7 years old. Had a BB gun. We played war. Saw war movies on TV. I want to shoot a bird. Bird, drop, boom. Saw another bird. Shot him. Boom. Drop, bird drop. He didn't die. That was the last time that I ever shot a bird. Didn't want to shoot things anymore. I like to hunt. Like, I like to track things. I like to, like, be at one with nature, with animals and stuff like that. I don't get in proximity, close proximity like other people do. I stay at a distance. I'm not trying to, no, especially they got horns. It don't matter, dude. Like, people have no idea how strong animals are. Even dogs that are like 30, 40 pounds, like how much their force of their bite. Like, they just don't comprehend these things. I can't tell you how many scars on my hand. My dogs are never gone because I have their teeth marks. I mean, this is from a cat I had. I have this scar across my nose. Starting to look like a pirate because I got all these scars, but I carry the things I love with me. So, anyway. I don't know, what day is it? It's Monday, huh, Mom? We might take Ma out. Ma got a couple new sweaters today, so we're going to go test them out. And it's real beautiful in northern New Mexico. Like, okay, sometimes I wonder, because I am such a believer that we create a reality. I'm always seeing people on the side of the roads in New Mexico in certain spots, and they're painting the mountains, okay? And because we create reality, I'm like, if there's more people painting the mountains and they're using more vibrant colors, does that mean that it makes the colors pop? Because people are talking about, and this is my 4th, we moved here 2020 right before the eclipse in December. So this is our 4th fall here. And I've lived, like, where you got to drive out, and I've driven around because I drive to clear my head. I get it from my mom. But I haven't been close. I just have seen, like, the big patches of yellow on the mountain. But recently, we're going to drive through these big patches. So I'm going to put this content up on TikTok. How does that sound, Mom? Adventures with Mom. That's you, little lady. I need to get a couple of handkerchiefs, and I've got to put them above because moving on, because my window shield leaked. So it doesn't leak anymore. And I kept trying to patch it, and then every time it rained, the way I park and how things are, water runs down at least in the inside, and then like takes off the adhesive spray. It's just been a thing. So now I finally have a new windshield. I want to get one of those what do you call it? Those rear view mirror. They got a camera that I can put, like, a camera on the back of the Bourbon, and then I can put one on the front to record. Because people are just like, they're all about bumper cars here. Because they don't care about their stuff, because their mommy and daddy are just gonna buy them more shit. See, so it'll just get replaced, so they don't value stuff anyway. I gotta go check the chili, so I'm gonna get going. I'm cautiously optimistic. I don't know if yeah, I think I cried today. I'm pretty sure I cry at least one time every day. Scorpio moon, Cancer rising, Aries sun. Because I rage and I cry when I rage because I don't want to. Well, I don't rage. I flash. I flash in. I go into the most highest peak of suck of a situation that I'm having to deal with. Because I don't got nobody to come give me hugs and give me pats and circles on my back and say, everything's going to be okay, Marjo. Everything's going to be all right. You're going to be okay. I don't got that. So, anyway, I'm so happy to see so many people building community. I'm curious to see who would want to be a part of mine, because I'm going to try and do that too. But I'm not going to, I see these people that they call themselves influencer. Don't be influenced by anything I do. Only thing I want people to be influenced is like, here are the mistakes I made, and don't make the same ones I made. Go make your own. And so, but, and then I hear a song and it totally derails my train of thought. That sucks. I forgot what I was saying. I made some beef chili I put in the crock pot, or beef stew meat, and then I added like seasoning, and then I added some potatoes. So I guess it's more like a stew, but I want to cook it so much the meat falls apart. How long does that take? I blasted it for like the last 2. I should go check it. It's getting hot in here, so I'm ready for the crock pot not to be on anymore. Oh, Mom. Look, here's this. Jessica, I don't know if you're still here. This is me in Wichita Falls, Texas. I walked to Walmart. You're not supposed to do that. I was drinking. You're not supposed to do that. I was drinking. I had a backpack. I always have a backpack when I travel like that. And so I had a buddy. She was taking the picture. Daler, she was from Wairika, California, not far from me. I was pretty tatered in this picture. Look how fucked up my teeth were. Oh my God, I have a picture with my teeth that are fucked up. Oh my God. That's crazy. It's been a long time since I've seen my fucked up teeth. They used to, because I don't know. I had the same top teeth as Jewel on the singer. Then I got braces. Kind of wish I didn't sometimes, but whatever. We live and we learn. Anyway, it's super nice in northern New Mexico. I'm trying to figure out a permanent place. Oh, that guy? Yeah, he calls himself an influencer. He's out of Arizona. Like, he's got tattoos all over himself. Like everywhere, like blackout tattoos. He's got, like, I don't know. He's just all about ego. And he was going to build this compound for homeless, but all they ever do is build themselves new buildings while people watch, and then they get paid to build. Like, they just keep building their own world up, and they don't ever do what they set out to do. Like, that one dude is back in New Mexico. Will survives. He's but down at Lucky's. He's down like south, like 2 hours from me. He's a good kid. They're doing the outdoorsy homestead thing. There's just gonna be more travelers, more people just trying to find a place to be. Because it gets so freaking cold in the winter and hot in summer, and I don't know. There's that. I got sucked into the hurricane story where there was hurricanes too that mashed up, and then there was hype about it, and then there was nothing, and then I looked, and neither hurricane was any longer listed in the Atlantic. Like it just, but there's 5 other ones on the planet right now, like India. I don't remember a lot of hurricanes in India before, so that's kind of trippy. So the Earth is definitely changing because it's evolving and because we are evolving. If we perceive the Earth, if our perception lights out, there's no more Earth to perceive. Well, there is, but we're perceiving it from the perspective of our last breath in the no place space, where all the answers and all the truth is held. We're in one of those periods right now where it says I'm gonna get answers to my questions, and I'm just like, no, I don't want to know. I'm happy in my unknowing. So I'm not really seeking right now. I'm really cool with it. Because every time we have one of these periods, I find out something that just makes me feel a little more icky about my family life. So I did find out something cool last night, because I have this terrible heart, because I want to, a place to help take travelers, where travelers can come and do laundry and work on their vehicles and, make a good meal, take a shower, all kinds of stuff, right? And so, what was I talking about? Puppies. I put place to communal stuff, and how more people are doing communal stuff. Are you getting hungry? Damn it, I hate that. I got holes in my brains. Alright, that's it. I'm done. I don't like it. That's like the 3rd time. My train of thought.